Hey family, this is Arlando Fortune, and I want to welcome you to another episode of the Daily Fortune. This is your inspirational talk for the week. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about three simple steps to helping you become your best self. If you're thinking about that you 2.0, that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to do it from the angle of a story about a hunchback prince from Africa and how he stretched and strained and struggled to become his greatest self and change his whole life by these three simple steps. Find out what they are here in just a few moments. I'll see you on the other side. Hey family, my name is Arlando Fortune. I am a high-performance strategist here in the US. I'm an author and I am an inspirational speaker. Today what we're going to be talking about is the African prince who was born with a hunchback and what that means for you growing and becoming your greatest self. So let's get into the story and tell you a little more about this. Understand the premise for today is that you become what you vividly imagine and consistently do. I'm going to say that again. You become what you vividly imagine and consistently do. So how does this hunchback prince teach you how to do that? So in a famous village in Africa, there lived this prince, and he only stood about 4 feet tall. And it was unusual because his brothers and his uncles and his father, they're all over 6 feet tall. So what was it about this young boy that made him so short? And as the story goes, this young man was born with a hunchback. So he couldn't quite stand up to his full potential because of his born with this deformity. Because of his unusual spine, the curvature of his spine, he was ridiculed and he was laughed and made fun of, and it was just hard for him to live his life. And one day, he decided he wanted to change that. He wanted to change how he thought about himself. So he asked his father on his 11th birthday if he could have a statue made about himself. Now, of course, his father, who's used to giving his child anything that he wanted, he's a king. He gets what he wants. So his father says, sure, I'll make that for him. Well, quietly, the king was a little disturbed because he felt that if he got a statue made of his son, that it actually might do more harm than it would good, because his son would be constantly reminded of the way he was born, the deformity he was made with. But he wanted to please his son, so he goes ahead and says he's going to have this statue made. But here's what the situation changed a little bit. You see, the prince didn't want a statue made of his way he looked with his hunchback. He wanted a statue made of what he would look like at full height. If he could stand up tall, that's what he wanted a statue made of. So of course, the father had the statue made. And the day it was delivered, it was a phenomenal statue. The detail, the intricate work that was put into this statue, it made the prince so proud to be able to look at the statue of what he could look like. This is truly his full potential. The king had the statue placed out in the garden just outside of the prince's window. So every morning and every night he would go to bed being able to look out his window and see this statue. And every day the prince would hobble out of his room, go out to the garden, and he'd look up at this statue. And he'd reach up to try to touch the statue, struggling and straining just to reach a little higher to touch the statue. 10 years later, it's his 21st birthday, and instead of reaching up and looking up to the statue, he looks the statue straight in the face. He reaches his arm straight out to touch the shoulder of the statue. You see, over the years, inch by inch, centimeter by centimeter, the prince started correcting his spine, started pulling his shoulders back, and had poked his chest out, and he was now standing fully erect to look this statue directly in its face. Those years of struggling and straining had worked, and it changed his appearance. I ask you now, what version of yourself do you look at every day? You see, for most people, they look in the mirror and they don't like what they see, or they just settled into whatever it is in the mirror in front of them. That's who they become accustomed to seeing, and it's okay with them for the moment. They learn to live with it, or they get still so disgusted. Which version of yourself do you look at every day? See, the story about the hunchback was about a little boy. He was born with a deformity and was ridiculed and heckled, and he couldn't even play with these other kids because of the way his body had been made. But he had a vision of who he could be, and he wanted to do something about it. He had an idea of who he wanted to become, and he had a plan for how to get there. There was 3 steps in this. 1 was to erect a statue. Number 2 was to visit that statue every day. And number 3 was to stretch himself every day to become that statue. And these are the 3 steps that I want you to really embrace from this story. First, you have to erect a statue of yourself. So what does that mean? That means that you go create this lifestyle, this vision of who you would like to be, understanding how you would like to be remembered. You want to write these ideas down so that they're vivid in your mind of exactly who you would like to be. Number 2, that is visit your statue daily. That means that you're going to wake up every day and go to bed every day looking at this vision of yourself that you've written down in detail. You're going to close your eyes and visualize what it will be like to be this individual, to walk like this individual, to talk like this individual. Now, and I'm saying this individual because I want you to realize that you are where you are, and it's very important to realize where you are right now, but also to understand where you can be. Your potential is right there in front of you. You've written it out. You've declared it. You understand that the things that are put into you, the desires, the visions that are given to you because you can achieve them. But you must make that vision plain. By erecting a statue in the first step, you have made that vision plain. And the second step, you're going to visit that vision every day, that statue of yourself that you've erected every single day. And the third step, as did the hunchback do, as the hunchback prince does, he went to this statue every day and he strained and he struggled to reach up to this highest potential. And that's what I got to have you do every single day. Now, it took 10 years for the prince to fully be able to stand erect and become that individual that he said he wanted to become, that he desired to become. It may take you 10 years, it may take you 20 years, it may take you 10 weeks. I cannot determine how long it's going to take for you to become that individual that you truly want to become. But what I can say is this: if you don't do the work, if you don't create the vision, if you don't look at that vision daily and desire to become it for the bottom of your souls, if you do not desire to become that and you don't do something every day to become that, the time period is going to be greater and greater of you ever becoming that individual, if it happens at all. So 3 steps again: erect the statue. 2, visit that statue every day. 3, strain and struggle every day to become and stretch out to become that fullest potential that you put in that statue that you erected. Now, some of you may think that it's difficult for you to get over your past haunts because that's the reason why you have not become that next level, because the things that have happened in your past are disturbing you or distracting you from becoming your fullest potential. And I have this quote from John DeMartini, who said, "Why would you want to be a victim of your history when you can be a master of your destiny?" I want you to write that quote down if you didn't already. Go ahead and rewind this and write that quote down and really contemplate, to meditate on that idea. Others are going to ridicule as you try to become this other individual, to become this highest potential of yourself. That comes with the territory. It's going to happen as you start to make these changes in your life. Others are going to feel that you're unusual, you're strange, because you're trying to become something else. It comes with the territory, so be forewarned. Others are going to feel uncomfortable or try to make you feel uncomfortable as you try to become this individual. It comes with the territory. When you start trying to stretch outside of your current comfort zone, you're going to enter into new territory. And in that new territory, there's going to be a lot of pushback, a lot of life, a lot of society, a lot of ideas, a lot of beliefs, a lot of your mindset is going to try to push you back into who you were. It comes with the territory. But know this: you strain, you struggle every day. And if you follow those 3 steps about erecting a vision so that you really know who you are, you go visit every day so you build your desire to become that, and you strain and struggle to become that every day, you're going to be able to overcome the pushback in this new territory and embrace that new self and grow into that new self that you truly desire. See, excellence isn't a skill that is taught in schools. So when you strive to become excellent, you're going to stand out. But in order for you to live the life that you desire, you must be okay with that pushback, because it's all about moving into excellence, living a life of excellence. This is new territory for you. It's new territory for all of us that have come up in a system that did not teach them these principles. So be okay with it. But here's what I do know. You were born a king. You were born to be a queen. So when you step out into that and to try to embrace your authority as a king, your authority as a queen over your own life, over your own circumstances, over how you become who you want to become. As you desire to go out and express that, know it that it is a privilege that you were given at your birthright. Yes, I said it's your birthright to step into your excellence, to step in, become that king, become that queen, from hobbling and hunched over from the life that you've been living and the weight of the life, everything's been going on in your life and everything that's been happening to you that's put a weight on your shoulders. You've been hunchbacked, you've been cowering from who you could become. And it's time to stand upright, to stand strong and look to your vision, look your destiny in its face and says, I am here. I'm coming after you. I will have you. It's your right. And if you so desire to have that self and you're not quite sure of how to get there, I have a resource for you. You can go to darlandofortune.com/unlimited potential. You'll see that link down here below for you to go ahead and click on that and take you to a page that'll give you an opportunity to grab my book. Now the book it's a very inexpensive book. There's $6.99 to go purchase this book. And I'm going to give you the principles. I'm going to give you the workbook. I'm going to give you some extra downloads to help you take your life to that next level. In that book, I will show you how to erect your statue. I will show you what you can do to visit that statue every day, and I would definitely talk to you about the mindset it would take for you to stretch and strain and struggle every day to become that greatest version of yourself. You can find that link again down below. That's darlandofortune.com/unlimited potential. And this may be the end of this episode, but it doesn't mean that I don't want to see you again. So you want to stay tuned to these episodes of the Daily Fortune, these inspirational talks that I bring to you every week. See, every week I'm going to give you some practical steps. I'm going to give you some stories to help you remember that. And then I'm going to give you some practical steps on how to apply the lessons from those stories into your life so that you can go out and make life happen every day. So if that's you, and you sound like someone who wants to make life happen every day, I ask you to come join the No Doubt Nation. And people who join the No Doubt Nation live by that mantra, and that is to make life happen every day. And with that being said, y'all, you know how we end these off. You know how we end it. You can be, you can do, you can have anything you want in this world. You just got to believe. You can live a life of no doubt, just blessings. And I'll show you how right here. God bless. I'll talk to y'all next time. Hey, Fortune. Said hey, Fortune.